Thanks for coming out.
No problem.
What's your name?
For real.
Omar. All right, cool. My name is Alex. This is going to be my persuasive speech on why I believe everybody should be exercising. All right. So according to drscottlear.com, there's 3 main reasons why people don't exercise as of nowadays. So number 1 is lack of time, right? Given the economy, all kinds of things going on. Most people have like 2 jobs nowadays, not even just 1. You know, how many jobs do you have?
3.
And you?
2.
Exactly. And I have 1 at the moment, but I did have 2, and that's only because I went back to school. But given, and once I'm out of school, I'll probably have 2 jobs again. So with that being said, I can see why lack of time would be something that people do struggle with. But, what if I told you that just 20, 30 minutes a day, at least 2 to 3 times a week, you can lose at least a pound a week and get in the best shape of your life? It sounds crazy, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, it is.
Right?
Yeah.
And then also at the same time, a lot of people sometimes have low motivation, and things happen. Some days I don't feel the best. Some days you wake up with that cloud on your head. Some days you just wake up and you're like, man, I'm just gonna try and power through the day. But studies have shown that exercising can lower your cortisol. That helps you deal with stress. That helps you, studies have also shown that exercising can also help you just feel better. When you look at yourself in the mirror and you like what you see, that takes away a lot of bad feelings that you might have. Because as soon as you wake up in the morning, as long as you know that you're kind of trending upward, making a step in the right direction, that will give you that feeling that you need to power through the day, like you said. And then also too, one of the main reasons, and this is something that I noticed when I first started, when I was a trainer, is that a lot of people just have a big issue with physical discomfort. But we've all heard that saying, right? Pressure makes diamonds.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah,
and that's kind of one of the biggest things I used to preach to all of my clients when I did used to train, was just intensity. And that's kind of like one of the things. It's one of the driving factors, even at a job. If you want a promotion, if you want to do good on a test, if you want to do better in school, just anything that kind of is worthwhile is going to give you some discomfort. A guy I used to work with a while back, his name was Sean. He once told me that to get to where you've never been, you got to do things you've never done before. And that is an uncomfortable feeling. But as much as I would love to give a perfect logical argument for that, it's just something you're already familiar with. Dealing with physical discomfort, that is something that people are already familiar with. And going through that to exercise will change so many other factors for you. What about you? You exercise on the regular, right?
Yeah.
How much better did you feel after you started exercising?
A lot better. My mood shot up, and I feel great.
And you?
After I was, how did I feel after exercising?
Yeah, once you started to exercise, how much better did you feel?
I felt more confident about myself, and even if you're having a bad day, you can look in the mirror and see your accomplishments.
Yeah, that's a big deal. And I feel like working out is a good, I guess you could say, a euphemism for life. Given that you do have to kind of get the reps in, you have to lift the weight over and over.
Mm-hmm.
And the more you lift the weights, the easier the weight gets. Then the lighter it gets. Then you have to eventually lift even more weight. And then before you know it, you're like, wow, now I'm really strong. And I feel like that is a concept that I've taken with me into my daily life ever since I started to work out. Anything that I've ever struggled with, it made it a little bit easier to deal with it, because I'm like, okay, as long as I at least get the reps, eventually I will figure out how to deal with what I'm dealing with. And once you kind of adopt that mindset, that killer mentality, you'll notice a lot of things change, in your life. Whether it's, once again, whether it's a promotion or whether it's a personal goal that you have. Once you learn to kind of take that gym mindset and bring that outside of, or maybe not even the gym, just exercising and just the idea of bettering yourself. Once you learn to take that mindset out, you'll realize that exercising is something that anybody can do. Whether you don't have to be a bodybuilder, you don't have to be an athlete. And I've heard people in the past commonly say that, with a car note, with insurance, with bills and anything like that, it could be kind of a little bit not, I guess you could say, not smart financially to purchase a gym membership and try and make the time to go to the gym.
Mm-hmm.
But in reality, you don't have to spend money to get in shape. It could be something as simple as just walking around your neighborhood, or maybe you used to swim in high school and now that you don't have access to a pool, you don't exercise anymore and you gained a little bit of extra weight. If your apartment complex has a pool, you could just swim in your pool. Or you can do push-ups, you can do sit-ups, you can do calisthenics. Exercising is something that everybody can do. You know, and according to the National Library of Medicine, the average 42% of people in the U.S. gained extra 29 pounds during COVID. And I feel like that's one of the biggest reasons why people are kind of having some of these drawbacks and lack of motivation due to inactivity during their daily life ever since COVID, you know. And once again, I feel like once everyone decided to exercise in some way or some form, your life will change for the better. Whether it's the mind, whether it's the body, and as hard as it might look, anybody can do it. And I want to thank you guys for coming out today.
100%. Thank you.
Appreciate you, sir.